Launch ready for WWE Aftershock in 3, 2, 1. World Wrestling Entertainment Discussion is live. Cue host Owen Finch.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to WWE Aftershock. I'm Owen Finch, and I'm here with
Chris.
And yeah, we haven't done an Aftershock in a little bit. I know I did like a predictions for WrestlePalooza on my own because I figured it was an important show to do predictions for. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just talk about everything that's kind of going on in wrestling as of late. A little bit more of a normal Aftershock. We're not like we haven't, because we've done one pretty recently and everything like that. So I'm happy that we're doing this. But you ready to just kind of talk about some wrestling, Chris?
Yeah.
So yeah, the first show we're going to talk about is Worlds Collide. That happened a couple weeks ago now. Obviously another show in the AAA WWE partnership. I don't think I took the notes. Oh no, there they are. They're right there. But yeah, let's just start talking about the show. I'll kind of keep it brief. It was Conan, JBL, and Corey Graves on commentary again. I'm gonna guess this is gonna be the commentary team. Every time they do a AAA WWE type show, at least on the English side of things, it's gonna be Corey and Conan, and then JBL probably in every once in a while. They did all right. I thought they did better than at Triple Mania, but they did okay. How did you feel about how they did on commentary?
I felt like they did fine. It flowed a little bit better this time.
Yeah. We had the code open.
There was no real overly heelish shit that they were doing either.
Yeah. So we had the code open where it showed like all the moments that's happened in Worlds Collide since WWE and AAA is partnered together. We had the opening ceremony, which is a pretty big staple during the AAA shows. They had Shawn Michaels and Rey Mysterio on the WWE side of things, kind of standing there. Penta came out to do a promo where he pretty much talked about how happy he is to be back in AAA. I mean, it's really weird because this was more of a WWE show this time around, but I guess because AAA is the partnership, but that is what he said. And he talked about like the Mexican wrestling heritage, and he kind of made mention that he wants to go after the AAA Mega Championship, which makes a lot of sense since he's had history with Dominic Mysterio and everything like that. Really wild because the last time he was in AAA, he was an AEW like contracted wrestler, so it's pretty funny how that ended up working out. So what do you think of all the stuff that happened before the matches and everything like that?
I like it. I like when they do those cold opens. I think it's really awesome. It really hypes the show up. I love it.
And then it opened up with an 8-man tag. It was Laredo Kid, Masquerita Sagrada, La Polka, and Octagon Jr. versus Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wild, Lince Dorado, and Mini Abismo. I'm pretty sure there was somebody else was supposed to be in this match, but they got taken out the last minute. I forget who it was because, but it's the guy that faced Finn Balor that fed him burgers and everything like that. He was supposed to be in this match, but they took him out the last minute. Not really sure why, but that's just what ended up happening.
So what happened with Nino Himbergesa is that it was a visa issue.
Oh, that makes sense. So
he couldn't get his visa done in time, and they just originally like La Parca was going to be out of it, and they put La Parca back in, and they took out Nino because Nino's visa wasn't ready yet.
But this match was very good. Very good 8-man tag. Everyone got the chance to shine in this match. Eventually, Laredo Kid, Octagon Jr., Masquerita Sagrada, and La Polka won when the legend Masquerita Sagrada got the win on Mino and Bizzo Negra. This was awesome. Mascarita Sagrada was so over in this match. Everybody loved him. And this was just truly wonderful. What a legend Mascarita Sagrada is. And everyone looked really strong in this match. I thought this was very good. I gave it 3 3/4 stars. What'd you think of this?
I thought this match was really, really good. I give it 3 3/4 also. It was awesome seeing Mascarita Sagrada again. I haven't seen him wrestle in so long.
Yeah.
He was. This is his first WWE appearance, I believe, since the Cruiserweight division in 2005, 2006. And before that, too, he was in the Minis division. I forget what they called it back in the late 90s, but he was Mini Nova in the late 90s in the WWF. So it's kind of, this is like I would call his third stint in WWE. So that's pretty cool.
And then Rey Mysterio got interviewed talking about how much he likes this partnership between AAA and WWE. Dominic Mysterio completely interrupts it and says that tonight, if he wins the AAA Mega Championship, Rey Mysterio should put it around his waist, and Rey Mysterio agreed to that. And then Finn Balor walked away with the interviewer, which is really funny because they're like married in real life, so that was kind of a little nod to the fans right there. This was weird because they showed this. I don't think you watched SmackDown that day, but I pointed this out. They showed this like interview segment like on SmackDown like earlier, and then they just showed it like again. It was like really weird, but whatever.
They just went like, "Hey, fuck it, let's double it up."
And then we had Fabi Apache versus Natalya, where the winner became the #1 contender to the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship. This wasn't Natalya, though. This was Natty Neidhart, and she looked extra aggressive in this match. She pretty much owned Fabi Apache throughout much of this match. This was a very technical match. This was awesome because, obviously, Natty Neidhart has been doing this gimmick on the indies. And it's really cool that we got to finally see it done in WWE. I'm pretty sure she did it at Triple Mania, but this was kind of the first time we got to see it on a WWE scale. And Natty wins. She made Fabi Apache tap out to the sharpshooter. But this match was wonderful. This was a really cool thing for Natty Neidhart. We got to see like a new fire under Natty Neidhart. And afterwards, they kept going at it where the referee had to break it up. And if this continues going down, I think she wins the Reina de Reinas Championship. I think this new one that Natty's on has really revitalized her career. I gave it 4 stars. This was great.
I give it 4 stars too. This match was great. Natty with the more aggressive side that she showed in the Indies, she's allowed to show it here in this AAA event. It was awesome. It really is. It's more of like in tune to what she was doing before WWE.
The New Day get interviewed, and unfortunately Xavier Woods couldn't compete in the AAA World Tag Title match because he had to have open neck or open head surgery because of the Mexican Destroyer that he took from Penta, and they're still trying to get that move like banned and everything like that. They have the petitions going on and everything like that. So Big G is gonna take he's gonna take Xavier Woods' place. That'd be weird if he took Kofi's place.
Kofi's place. Let's go for no reason.
But no, he took Xavier Woods' place. I felt bad for Xavier Woods. Poor guy had what a courageous athlete too to like still fly out after having like open head surgery. Like what a champ he is.
So fucking courageous.
Yeah, what'd you think of this interview? Did you feel bad for Woods that he had to have open head?
No, I didn't. Not one bit.
The dude had to have open head surgery, and you don't feel bad. Open head surgery.
Yeah, see what he did to Big E? That's why. Fuck him.
Yeah, but he had open head surgery, though.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's good. Yeah, too bad.
Isn't there some courageous that he still flew out the next day and everything like
No,
that?
it's not.
Because I think he wrestled on Raw not long after this too. And the guy just had open. By the way, what's the difference between head surgery and open head surgery?
He just opened the head.
But we had Pagano and Psycho Clown versus the New Day. This was I thought a great match. It was very back and forth. Big G looked really strong in this match, trying to make himself a member of the New Day. He's not quite there yet. They still have to have conversations about it. Unfortunately, I don't think he really impressed anybody in this match because Pagano and Psycho Clown won. Unfortunately, with the Canadian destroyers, the Mexican destroyers, Conan and JBL signed the petitions to try to get that move banned. I don't think they were very successful because everyone's still doing it. They should probably sign that petition on the AEW side of things to get that move banned. What would AEW do with their matches if that move was banned from their program? And I don't think they would know what.
They wouldn't know what to do.
But yeah, I thought this match was great. I gave it 4.5 stars. Both teams look really strong. I'm really happy that Pagano and Psycho Clown retained. And again, just good on Woods for still being ringside for his brothers after having open head surgery and everything like that. So good for him. What do you think of this?
You're awfully forgiving.
I'm not happy with what they did with Big E, but open head surgery, that's not easy stuff to come back.
You're awfully forgiving for what he did. I give this match 4 stars. It was a really great match. Thankfully, Psycho Clown and Pagano won the match. Thank God. But yeah, the match was great. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of Psycho Clown and Pagano.
And then afterwards, they got absolutely destroyed and murdered by the Wyatt Six. They beat him up and put him through tables and things like that. If it's setting up a future match between them and Psycho Clown and Pagano, I'm very interested in that. It's just this was very scary to be Psycho Clown and Pagano to get destroyed like that. What do you think of that part afterwards?
I thought it was very interesting that they set that up. I didn't see it coming, and I'm really, it's spooky versus spooky. So that's kind of I like that.
Yeah. And then Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez faced Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana. This match was awesome. Very entertaining. JBL got very scared because obviously Finn Balor came out with a bag, which means that Demon Into was in there. And Mr. Iguana, didn't want that to show itself. So he put that bag under the ring. But it got very scary all of a sudden when Mr. Demon Into came to life and came up through the apron all of a sudden. JBL was scared of that. He couldn't even continue his job. And this was very scary. Demon Into is alive, and I didn't expect that to happen. That's pretty scary stuff. Even Finn Balor got scared about that. But in the end, though, Lola Vice hit the spinning back fist onto Roxanne Perez and got the win. This made a lot of sense because obviously Lola Vice is being groomed as a big challenger to JC Jane for the NXT Women's title. And they had JC Jane ringside, so she was able to kind of look strong here. And yeah, that was very scary right there with Demon Into. That was scary, but this was very good. I give it 3.75 stars. And I hope that Demon Into thing doesn't happen again because that was scary.
I'll give it 3 stars. I thought this match was I thought it was a good match. Demon Into is a horrifying spectacle, very scary. But yeah, I give it 3 stars. I thought this mixed tag match was better than the other one.
Yes. And then we had the 4-way match for the AAA Latin American Championship. It was El Heel Dr. Wagner Jr. defended against Dragon Lee, Ethan Page, and JD McDonough. This was a great 4-way match. Everyone got to showcase themselves very well. Ethan Page was on the verge of winning, but he got pulled out by JD McDonough, and then Dr. Wagner Jr. Hit the Michinoku driver onto JD McDonough to get the win, and he retained his championship. Obviously, this isn't the end of this. They've had Dr. Wagner Jr. and Ethan Page on NXT pretty recently, so it seems like they're going to set up a match between them, whether that's for both belts or just for Ethan Page's championship, I'm not sure. But this was great. I give it 4 stars.
I give it 4 stars also, too. This is a fantastic match. EO Day Dr. Wagner Jr. winning made a lot of sense. Just a wonderful multi-man match.
And then we had the main event for the Mega Championship. It was El Hijo del Vikingo defending against Dominic Mysterio. I think everyone was kind of hoping that, since Vikingo was out of Mexico, he was going to get a better reception. That did not happen. Tough to tell if it's because they don't like Vikingo or they just like Dominic Mysterio more. Obviously,
it's really tough to tell at this point.
Yeah. But
I wonder if now that things are different, who knows?
Yeah. But this was a great Mega Championship match. Everyone looked really strong in this match. Eventually, Judgment Day interfered, but Dragon Lee and the LWO were able to outdo the interference. But then eventually, El Grande Americano showed up and interfered in the match and helped Dominic Mysterio win, and he became the new AAA Mega Champion. And then afterwards, the Judgment Day took a picture with El Grande Americano in the background. I give this 4 3/4 stars. This was great stuff. Afterwards, Rey Mysterio had to put the belt around Dominic Mysterio's waist. And I gave it 4 3/4 stars. I thought this was a great main event, and I'm happy Dominic Mysterio won the belt. They had to course correct and get the belt off of Vikingo because he just wasn't really working as Mega Champion. And having Dominic Mysterio win, I think, does a lot for AAA and this WWE partnership. He's already scheduled to have some shows with AAA, so that's going to be cool for him. What did you think of this?
I thought this match was fantastic. I give it 4.5 stars. I thought this match was great. The reception was a bit frosty, to say the least. Ever since he won the belt, like Vikingo was insanely over in Mexico in AAA, insanely over before he won the belt. He was basically almost forced to win it, and it really pissed off the Mexican crowd, which really loved Del Rio. They love Del Rio down there. Basically, it just goes the lineages. They loved his father, and they felt like he was getting screwed over, and they were anointing Vikingo as the face of AAA, and it didn't go well there. I thought going to Vegas, I thought things would change. They didn't. It's real interesting because I thought it would be more of a reaction for positive reaction for Vikingo. That didn't work. I think that was the whole point of having it in Vegas, was to see if he would get cheered, and he didn't. I also attribute that to the fact that Dominic is super over in Vegas. Also, too. And it also doesn't... I mean, Dominic winning makes the most sense. He probably should have won it a while back, but it makes sense that he won it. Because when they announced the rematch, I was like, oh, there's no way he's not winning. He has to win at this point. But yeah, I thought, it makes all the sense in the world. Dom's bilingual. He's massively over in Mexico and AAA, so it makes sense. I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah, definitely. And then let's do a nice letter grade. I'm probably going to give Worlds Collide maybe a B+. I was getting kind of tired towards the end, which affected my viewing of it, so I probably would have liked it more had this happened earlier in the day, but I'm going to give it a nice B+. It was a great show.
I'm going to give it a B+ too. I was the same thing. I was coming back from my brother's house, so I was watching on my phone or listening to it on my phone as I was driving home from his house. But I saw most of the show once I got home. Leon lives about 10, 12 minutes away, so I didn't miss too much of it visually. But yeah, I thought that this was another great collab between WWE and AAA. They're off to a hot start. I think Dominic being champion it adds more intrigue because he's obviously super over. It wasn't supposed to be like that, but maybe it might accelerate his face turn a little bit more.
Yeah, let's hope so. But let's go over WrestlePalooza. While you get the notes ready, I'll cover the countdown shows and everything. They had a special the day before. I think to kind of just really test the waters of ESPN. Kind of glad they did this countdown, this like countdown special, because this is why I found out that I couldn't get ESPN like Plus, and like because I couldn't watch I couldn't watch I couldn't watch the special. It was really weird. So I had to sign up. This is why I had to sign up for Disney Plus, and then I still couldn't watch it. It still wasn't letting me. I don't know if that was just like a glitch in the system. So then I had to. I was like watching it live, and then they fixed it like an hour later. But the hosts for that were Peter Rosenberg, Tyrese Halliburton, and Big E. They kind of just brought on some superstars where they interviewed and kind of talked about, you know, and hyped up their matches. The interviews here was CM Punk, Io Sky, and the Usos. Tyrese Halliburton, having him there was cool. He did the panels, and he basically did everything for panel wise, and did a lot of previews and everything like that, which was pretty cool. And then they had a Road to WrestlePalooza, which that panel was done by O'Shea Jackson and TJ Jefferson. This was pretty cool because obviously they do the No Contest Wrestle podcast. I really like their podcast. I listen to it. I've actually been listening a lot recently, and they also do well, not O'Shea Jackson, but TJ Jefferson does the Rich Eisen show, and he's been kind of the wrestling equivalent to get all the guests on there and everything like that. So that's been pretty cool. The Miz just kind of came on and kind of did some interviews and things like that. But yeah, I liked that. Then you had the countdown show. We had the panel for that with Tyrese Halliburton, Big E, Michael Cole, Wade Barrett, Jackie Redmond, and Peter Rosenberg. The big notes that happened there was a nice intro for that. The intro was really cool, and they showed it on the cold open later, where it was kind of like what WWE and ESPN were like before they became the partnership, and then what it could look like afterwards. Kind of showed like how it affected the media. The Usos were backstage. They were kind of getting ready for the match where the Blondes came up to them, and they got into like a pull apart brawl where Adam Pearce revealed later on that there was going to be another like a special guest referee for that match, which was LA Knight. So you knew something was going to cook there. Drew McIntyre had a sit-down interview. That was pretty solid. The Miz got interviewed. Stephanie Vaquero got interviewed and said she looks forward to winning the world title. Triple H got interviewed and talked about the partnership and everything like that. Stephanie McMahon got interviewed. And then CM Punk and AJ Lee got interviewed. It was like it was a sit-down interview with Corey Graves, where it was kind of them talking about what it's like for AJ Lee to be back and everything like that. And then, the countdown show was good. The only thing that was annoying, I think it had to do with my Wi-Fi, is because there was ads, like in between it. Anytime like an ad played, I would have to back out and come back because the last minute it would like freeze up and everything like that. So, that was a little bit annoying, but then we had the show. You want to go over the show itself?
Yeah, let's do it. So it was reported multiple times that Lesnar versus Cena was going to main event. It didn't actually main event. It was announced by Pat McAfee on the Pat McAfee show that it would kick off the show in Indianapolis. So it's they do their entrances. Cena gets a huge reaction. Brock gets a pretty sizable reaction too. But we go old school for this one. Paul Heyman introduces Brock Lesnar because it goes back to SmackDown where Brock said that he wanted to talk with Paul Heyman about something, which was interesting because they had been not a item with each other for a very long time. So Paul does the introduction for Lesnar, which is awesome. Love seeing that again. And yeah, it's basically a Brock Lesnar match with Cena where it's very reminiscent from 2014. Nothing special happens here. Nothing different. Brock wins. I mean, it is what it is. I would have had Cena win, but it's I don't. It's just the match itself was just what he fucking does. Yeah, it was a really weird way to start the show, and yeah, it was a bit of a letdown.
So I'm actually the opposite. I actually didn't hate this. I like the fact that this is a recurrent thing for Cena, where every time he gets into the ring with Brock, it's always isolation. You know, it's good to have that for that thing for Cena to come back from. I didn't think it would be this quick, but I wasn't surprised knowing Brock. I figured I wasn't surprised this kicked off the show, considering the fact that Brock doesn't like to stay too long. He likes to get in and out. And yeah, I didn't hate this. It does kind of suck this happens in Cena's retirement tour. This would be better if he was having like killer matches a lot. And the retirement tour was on fire, going really well. But that hasn't been the case. It didn't really start turning around until like obviously SummerSlam time when he went back babyface. What sucks about this is I don't know what they can really like do with this because Cena's not going to be around that much towards the end of his tour because they announced he's only got like 4 dates left, which is Crown Jewel, and then it's 2 Raws and then his last match. And I think Survivor Series, so he's got like 4 to 5 dates left. So they really can't do anything about this with Cena's character. He kind of just has to move on from this very quickly. This would be nice if like, Cena could come back and say like, ooh, like I didn't really, like I don't want that to be my legacy type of thing. But because Cena only's got a limited window to come back, they can't really do much with this. But this gets Brock over as really strong, I figured Brock would win considering the fact that this is his first match back. And they really want to get him over really strong. I'll give this 3 stars. I didn't hate this. I like. It was cool to see Brock come back. But probably the fallout from this isn't going to be anything all that significant, considering the fact that Cena only has like a limited time left. And I don't really think they can really do much with. I feel like he's just gonna. I feel like they'll move on from this, and they probably won't even win this up the next time we like see Cena or anything like that.
I would think so because he only has 4 fucking dates left, and it's like they've already pissed through it from the European tour onward. They used up most of those dates and from the time that he turned heel until like halfway through the summer.
Yeah.
Like he had a limited amount of dates left, and it's like, what the fuck was he supposed to do if he stayed heel? Like appear 4 more fucking times after September?
I'm gonna guess that like he was probably just gonna like start to appeal, because I assume they were planning out his heel run was gonna work. So like he was gonna just disappear altogether and say like, now I'm really gonna leave with this belt. I'll come for my last match, and then he was probably gonna lose his last match like at the end to whoever he was gonna lose it to. I'm not really sure who that was gonna be now because the heel one didn't really work out type of thing. They were probably gonna build somebody up like an LA Knight or maybe like someone like some big baby face to conquer John Cena. But obviously that the heel one didn't.
It's tough to do that with 4 days left.
Yeah. So
So I think they really bungled it in the timing. Them also saying like, oh, he has this many amount of days left, I think really kind of fucking fucked it over too also.
Yeah.
They should have just done the retirement tour without the dates and then just went about it.
I would add more. I would have.
Because now he's facing AJ in Australia with there's going to be no build to it.
Yeah, AJ has to build it himself.
He's going to have to do it by himself because he needs the fucking... They're trying to fit a match in with Dom also, too. So that's 2 matches right there that they're trying to do. And that leaves 2 more. And that leaves 2 more fucking days. Not like, 2 more matches. No, that leaves 2 more dates, period.
Yeah.
In one of those, I think they're trying to do Dom for Saturday night's main event. That's from what I'm seeing. So, I think they just completely bungled it by turning him heel and then having him appear every fucking week. And then by the time we got to the summer, I was like, oh, by the way, he has 10 days left.
Yeah,
what
I
are
would
we
have.
fucking doing here?
They should have added more dates, or you know, not to not turn him heel, and then the matches with AJ and Dom we could have gotten like earlier or something type of thing.
It's just like it started off with like so much interest, and then it just died
Yeah.
because it was so bad. It was bad. It wasn't like, oh, this is so bad it's good. No, this is legitimately fucking terrible. That's one of the biggest mistakes of the Triple H era was going, you know what? Let's turn him heel for no fucking reason. To try to spice up the product. Oh, and we're going to have The Rock involved. And then what are we going to do? Oh, yeah, Rock's not going to fucking come back.
Yep.
Dumbest fucking shit ever. They completely ruined the retirement year by doing that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And everyone's starting to realize it now with 4 fucking appearances left that we pissed away almost a half a year of John Cena in his retirement year just by him being a heel for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shocked that they didn't turn him face again after they realized the fucking Rock wasn't going to be there. I'm surprised it took him that long.
Yeah, it was insane.
Could have had way more meaningful matches rather than 2 matches with Cody. And it just in the last like 3 weeks of their feud was, or 2 weeks of the feud was Cena being a babyface.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah. So yeah, it was interesting.
So next we have the Vision versus the returning of the Uso Penitentiary. The Usos, they came out to their Day One-ish theme.
Yeah, that was cool.
Which got the crowd fucking hyped. Match itself was fine. Couple of hope spots for the Usos, but the Vision ended up winning when the Usos went and got a table, put it up in the corner. And LA Knight was a special guest referee. I forgot to mention that. LA Knight was named as a special guest referee. So he was kind of lackadaisical, very lenient with the rules. So they set the table up in the corner. Jay has a chair. Beginning of the end. Jay goes to whack Bronson with the chair. He hits him with the fucking chair. And in doing so, the metal part of there's the jagged edges at the bottom of the steel chair. He hits him with the fucking chair. The thing comes up, cuts him wide open across the top of the head, across his forehead. Obviously was not intentional. I don't think that was supposed to happen because it looks like LA Knight kind of goes over and changes the finish of the match, maybe to get to the spear, which happens. Speared both the Usos to the table. Bronson goes up for the first time in weeks, thank God. Hits a tsunami. They end up winning. The Vision does. I thought the match was okay. I thought it was fine. I think they might have called it an audible, but at the same time, I don't know. But it seems very plausible that they did call an audible just because of the fact that Jay wasn't really conscious anymore.
Yeah. Overall, this was all right. I'll give it like 3 stars. It was a good match. More of like a Raw main event than a PLE match.
It also felt like the ending was rushed because of Jay cutting himself open.
Yeah, I feel like LA Knight was probably supposed to play more of a role in like costing them the match than he did. But the Vision winning makes sense. They have been kind of losing a lot lately, so yeah, this was fine. No issues.
Yeah, it was okay. I didn't really care much for it. I thought for a return match for the Usos, I thought it was kind of lackluster, but the ending kind of, because when I saw him hit him with the chair, and I was like, why the fuck is he bleeding?
Yeah.
And you can kind of see, like everyone on Twitter had it, he hits him with a chair. On a chair, there's like where they weld it. There's always like a sharp piece that sticks up. So when he hit him with it, that part came back up and split him wide open on his forehead. Because he was bleeding pretty good.
Yeah, he was.
So I hope now, because they announced that they're going to have a WrestlePalooza rematch. This is probably going to be the Usos getting the win this time, I would assume. On Raw. I think it's this week.
Yeah.
This upcoming... Not this upcoming Monday.
Yeah.
Because it's Wednesday when we're filming this. Next is... one again... No matter who the fuck Io Sky is in the ring with, no matter who Stephanie McCurry is in the ring with, the match was fantastic. I'm not going to go over it in depth. Fucking go and watch the match. This match is insane. Fucking great match once again. Outstanding. Can't even put into words how great this match was. The women on these PLEs have really put on like match of the night candidates and match of the year candidates.
Yeah, it's been
going back to the beginning of the year.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
No matter what they do, when they're on a card, they're most likely going to be the best match of the night.
Yeah.
And again, it showed again because this was the best match of the night, and Stephanie McCurry won with a variation of the SVB, which in WWE 2K26 is the Butterfly Lung Blower #2.
No, she won the Spiral Tap.
Oh yeah, the Spiral Tap. That's what it was. Not that. Yeah, she used that, but that set it up. She won with like a variation of the Spiral Tap, so she landed on her stomach instead of her back. To win the women's world title. Fantastic match. Both these women outstanding, as per usual. I can't say enough great things about both of them. Afterwards, Stephanie got to celebrate with her dad, which is amazing. Just an awesome moment after an awesome match. I can't say enough great things about it. Match of the night, candidate for match of the year. This match was awesome. You have to go and see it.
Yeah, it's 4 3/4 stars. It was a fantastic match. I'm really happy they went with Stephanie McCurry. You know, it was kind of a 50-50 toss-up, but I'm happy they made like a new star and really put all the eggs in the Stephanie McCurry basket. Makes me kind of happy Naomi did get pregnant, because I guarantee you she probably wasn't winning the belt in Clash in Paris because of how interesting Naomi's character was. So I'm really happy this happened, because Stephanie McCurry they really deserve to go all in with, and I'm happy that with Naomi being pregnant, that means now that opened up the door for them to be able to do that type of thing.
I believe that this title reign too is going to last probably until Naomi comes back on the road.
Who knows?
Naomi will get her title back.
Who knows when that will happen, though?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how far along she is right now, but she still has a long, long, long way to go.
Yeah, so
we're talking probably 7 months, maybe.
And you know, she's got to be like at home with the baby like the first like couple months and everything like that.
I think that might put it post WrestleMania, because I don't think she's going to be there back in time for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But I mean, anything could happen. They could decide to, you know, have her be like a surprise, like in a match. Stephanie might have lost the title by then, but they'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Now, the most following up that match was another outstanding match. We had The Vision featuring Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus CM Punk, and for the first time in fucking 10 goddamn fucking years, AJ Lee laced her fucking Chuck Taylor's back up in a match this time, not a segment. Laced up her Chuck Taylor's for the first time in 10 years in an actual match. Teaming up with her husband, CM Punk, to face The Vision, featuring Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. And this match was very, very good. Huge pop. huge pop as per usual. This match was awesome. AJ looked fantastic, about as best as she could look for not wrestling for 10 fucking years. I thought, and I've been reading a lot recently over the past couple of days. Becky's been getting a lot of praise for her work with AJ. Their chemistry was very evident, and everything looked good. Unlike with Nikki, where it looked awful. Their chemistry looked really good. Everything flowed really well, and AJ ended up submitting. They won by submission when AJ applied the Black Widow. Just fantastic match. Thought this match was great. I loved every minute of it. AJ come back to wrestle. AJ looks fantastic. I would assume that now her and Becky are going to feud for the women's Intercontinental title, which would be awesome. I'm absolutely looking forward to that if that's the case.
Yeah, I love this. 4 stars. AJ Lee being back was cool. I guess the thing that sucks about this the most is the Seth Punk feud isn't ending anytime soon. This would be better if it was getting close to the end type of thing, but it doesn't feel like that's the case. They're gonna
It doesn't feel like.
I don't hate the feud, but now it's getting to the point where okay, this has been 2 years, and it's not gonna. And then the next match we find out that the Crown Jewel Championship's got announced. So it feels like Punk's not gonna really be around for that because Seth has to kind of put his focus on that, and then there'll be War Games where the faces will probably win that. And then I don't know, does Punk just win the belt at the Rumble? Because the thing that makes this messy is you have to tie up the Roman Reigns stuff also, and you can't really tie up both stories together. I guess you could do another triple threat match, but it's
yeah, they just did that one.
That doesn't.
But they could do it again.
That doesn't really tie it up for many men because Punk needs to get his revenge. His ultimate revenge, where he gets the belt back. But Roman also needs to get his revenge, so you either have to have Punk win the belt at the Rumble, or win the belt before Mania, with Roman helping him somehow, and then Roman and Seth have a match at WrestleMania. But then what the hell do you do with Punk at WrestleMania? Because Punk's kind of out of that. I don't know.
Or you could do another triple threat match at WrestleMania.
But again, Punk and Roman.
Punk walking in as the champion.
Yeah. I suppose you could do that. But yeah, I think that's the thing that sucks about this match the most is that this Punk and Seth feud isn't in. And it's not been bad. It's just starting to kind of drag a little bit now.
I think that's why they're trying to get I think that's why Triple H and the creative team and whatnot are trying to get them away from each other for a little bit at least.
Yeah.
That wasn't a way for them to kind of separate where Seth can kind of focus on Cody and then Punk can probably go off TV for a little bit and then maybe AJ can go feud with Becky for the time being.
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Without Seth interacting with the two women.
Yeah, that would be fine.
But we get on to the main event now. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. I thought this match was good. It was good, not great. But Cody ended up winning. And it was kind of a predictable finish, I would think. Because you really didn't see Cody losing in this match, so it was kind of just a throwaway, just to get him to Perth. Because it really wouldn't make any sense for Cody to lose this match and then go into that match championship-less against Seth, with the Crown Jewel Championship on the line. But I thought this match was still good enough. But the thing is now, where the fuck does Drew go from here?
Yeah, this kind of, and it was a bit of a disappointing main event because you figured something big was going to happen at the end of it, maybe just Drew winning, or something like that, because it didn't really make any sense to main event this match if you were just gonna have Cody win it. Like they should have done just the set. Then the Punk match should have main evented because that was something special. This match stood
Yeah,
like,
that's what it like. A lot of people are speculating that match went on last. That meant Drew was going to win. If they were going to have the standard Raw match at the end of the show, that should have been in the middle of the fucking show, and then that mixed tag should have been the ending.
yeah.
Or Steph winning should have been in the main event.
And Drew got screwed. He had the match won at one point, and then the ref stopped him from doing the Claymore through the table. And then Drew had the match won at one point, but the ref missed it. So it's I guess there's a reason to do a rematch, but then what? And I think because they're doing the Crown Jewel gimmick, they can't even do the match until after that point type of thing. So it just makes everything kind of feel weird and everything like that.
It does feel kind of weird.
This match was 3 1/4. It's pretty good. I feel like they definitely could have had a better match. But maybe they're not. Maybe there's going to be more matches, so they had him hold back a little bit, but it's really weird they had him hold back because this was the first show on ESPN. You would think you'd want to go all out and have a killer of a main event type of thing. Just really weird occasion where they just had the standard Raw match in the main event, and then Cody just won. It didn't really make it any interesting.
It really didn't.
And there wasn't a lot of heat to this feud because Cody was off TV until these last couple of weeks, and all that stuff. Yeah, I give it 3 1/4. It's a pretty good match, but just not a good match to main event your first show on ESPN Plus and all that stuff. To just have a standard match where Cody just wins type of thing.
Yeah, it felt like that was kind of a lackluster main event. Everyone thinking that there's gonna be a title change because that's the main event. It turned out to be just kind of an average Raw match.
Yeah,
and that's just when you build up this fucking show and you hype it up as much as you do, and you kind of end it with a lame, predictable finish on a show, it kind of leaves people with a sour taste in their mouths. And I can understand why ESPN gave it a C grade. I can understand that because the main event kind of hurt the show a little bit. It should have been either Stephanie winning, celebrating with her dad, holding the belt up in the air, the pyro going off, or Punk and AJ celebrating in the ring to close up the show with them celebrating.
Yeah. Overall, this show is a C grade for me. If I didn't watch it with friends and stuff, it would probably be a C minus, but it's a C grade for me. A little bit of a disappointing first show on ESPN Plus. I'm glad ESPN Plus called WWE out for it. It's not just gonna be a partnership where they're just gonna kiss WWE's ass. I kind of hope that motivates WWE to
It's not gonna be a fluffing or anything like that. It's gonna be legitimate.
So I'm happy about that. I don't think this means doom and gloom for the partnership because one, it's their first show and everything like that. But I kind of hope this motivates WWE to produce better dailies. Huh?
I think it did. At least for motivated money, WWE to produce better shows because this Raw, ESPN this past week just gave it a B. So
yeah, so
the full letter grade up.
Yeah, that's good. I feel like we'll get some better shows. I don't know what happened, I think they just I don't know what happened this night. They did they had an off night. A lot of people are saying All Out was better, and I didn't see it, but I will give AEW the win there because it probably was.
Yeah. It definitely was.
But
for as Triple H talked about surprises, nothing happened that was a surprise.
Well, one thing, and I think this is what he put, that Stephanie's going to the Hall of Fame, and if that's the surprise he was talking about, no offense to that, because that's obviously well earned. That's very disappointed if that's what he was talking about, type of thing.
Exactly. We're expecting debuts and returns and shit. We got nothing.
Yeah.
We got Stephanie. I mean, when that was announced, I was like, that's fucking weird. that seems like a very weird person to go into a Hall of Fame. But it didn't really like hit like I thought it would. Like AEW, to their credit, they put on a better show. They did. I'm not afraid to admit when they do, and they did. They put on a much better show. It's a much better show that people aren't talking about, but it's a show that won on Saturday. Good for them. Good for them. But no one's talking about it. What are people talking about? WrestlePalooza.
Yeah, I do think it makes WWE look bad though, because now it looks like they just put the show to counteract AEW, and if you're gonna do that, put on better shows, because then it's gonna make you look bad also, type of thing. So,
I think they're done for the year with that, at least.
Yeah, I think so.
No. I mean, if you're going to book a show at the same day, at least make it. Don't give us Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Give us a fucking PLE. Give us something that you would do for Crown Jewel. Make it special, and they didn't make it special at all.
Yeah, and this was the first show on
I'm gonna give it a C. I'm gonna give it a C. If the Usos had won, I give it a C plus, but it's a C.
Yeah. I feel like this was the first show on ESPN Plus. They had to come out with something big, and they really didn't. No surprise.
It was a letdown.
Yeah. So hopefully the show's become better, because obviously Triple H is getting a lot of flack recently about his booking falling apart. Some of that's true. I feel like some of that's just people hating, but I give him a little bit of flack. I give him a little bit of slack, because obviously his story. I feel like his stories last year was supposed to build to The Rock being around this year, and then he wasn't around, so he's had to counteract the booking around that, and then he had to also counteract the fact that like he was kind of forced to turn John Cena heel. It feels like, I would say forced, because obviously he played a big role in that too. But if The Rock didn't step in, and if he didn't do that whole take Cody Rhodes' soul and everything like that, and because The Rock wanted Cody to go heel, Triple H didn't want Cody to go heel, and again, it didn't make WWE was in the right, because it didn't make sense for Cody to go heel at that time. It just didn't make sense. So
it also didn't make sense for John to go heel either.
Cena made more sense than Cody though, with the way it
made more sense than Cody, but still Cena didn't make any sense at all.
It could have if The Rock was around. So
that is true. It could have made more sense if The Rock was around, but you have to think of it like how it happened. He wasn't around, and it really didn't make any sense for him to turn heel after the first night.
Yeah. And then I feel like WWE started turning things around a little bit, like SummerSlam time. It seemed like everything was piecing together, but then this show kind of took a little bit of a step back. So we'll see what happens. Everyone has an off year as a booker. Maybe Triple H is just having an off year this year. I think it didn't help that he's had a PLE like every 2 weeks. It's for like a lot of the summer. So hopefully next year. Triple H and WWE themselves can learn the lessons of the. Because this year hasn't been a bad year for WWE. It's been more of a disappointing year for WWE, I would say.
Oh, big time disappointing.
So,
it started off so hot, and then it kind of fizzled out.
Yeah. So hopefully they can come back from this. I feel like they could still end with a bang. I don't think they will, just because I think a lot of damage has been done this year, especially because we're so a lot of the booking. I think it's still going to be centered around Cena's retirement tour, but I feel like they should just still try to end the year pretty strong, but put a lot of the baskets and make next year like an even better year for WWE type of thing. Not saying give up, but I'm saying try to learn from the mistakes this year and make 2026 obviously I don't think we'll ever get 2024 levels of awesomeness again, because there was a lot of things to look forward to, but really make 2026 like a better year and learn the lessons of 2025 type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go over all that happened. I'll kind of keep that brief also. Raw took place. Let's see what's today's. So it took place September 22nd, 2025. This is the first time we're covering this, but Raw's been on earlier recently. It's been on at 7 till like 9:30. This is obviously because they're testing this out because Monday Night Football is back, so WWE doesn't want to go up against that. Really happy they can do this now. Obviously before they could never do this because they were stuck with TV rights. They had to go on at 8 o'clock. I'm really happy they can experiment now a little bit and go on earlier times. I think it's been better. I think it's good that WWE can not go up against Monday Night Football because that's been the biggest hassle for them the last few years because obviously Monday Night Football always crushes them. So it's kind of good that WWE... I think they'll only go up... How long do they go up against them? Like probably... Like they have like an hour ahead of them now versus the opposite where football has an hour against them.
It's back to like 8 o'clock next week?
No, next week they're at 7 o'clock again. So
7? Okay, so 7... I know it's sometime in October that it's back to 8 o'clock again.
So yeah, hopefully, I like the fact they can do this now. But going through it, Cody comes out to cut a promo. He talks about the importance of the Crown Jewel Championship. Seth comes out. This was cool because this is the first time they've really had a promo segment together since Cody won the belt and Seth's formed this faction. Overall, they cut some really great stuff. Seth talked about how he took offense to Cody being the quarterback when he's been the one holding down the fort for WWE. Cody talked about how Seth has given him a lot. He was the big reason he came back to WWE. He talked about how he gave him unforgettable moments. He helped him finish his story. But he also reminds Seth who won all those 3 matches that we had with each other. And mentions, is Seth going to be able to do it by himself or he's going to need the Vision's help? And Seth never attacks Cody. He never has the Vision attack him because the Vision let him go by. Seth also mentions the watch that Cody gave him. So this was a very good promo segment here. Very good back and forth stuff. Adds a lot of fuel to the fire. I wish we could have gotten a more natural way to get this match instead of it being for the Crown Jewel Championship because I'm not really into that. The Crown Jewel Championship, I think as we saw last year, I feel like it's just going to be talked about from the build up to this show and then not really mentioned again. I overall, I'm a big fan of this. This promo segment I thought was very good. What'd you think of this?
I thought it was very good. I thought it was interesting that when Cody left, after he basically bragged about being undefeated against him, he just kind of let Cody go. He just kind of called off the dogs and they stepped aside and just let him go. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, and then Jimmy Uso backstage, he comes up to Jay, and he was going to go for a rematch with Adam Pearce, just to see if they can get a rematch, but Jimmy's upset because Jay had already asked for a match with LA Knight, and Jay says he wants to handle this business, and then we'll handle the Vision's business, but Jimmy's not happy about this. Good stuff. I'm like, I like the fact that they're going to have Jay go down the darker path and everything like that, and it seems to be really working. I'm liking it. What do you think of this?
I like it. It's a different it's adding more character to Jay, really showing emotion, because it's something that he hasn't really shown, especially when Big Jim was getting choked up right in front of him. He showed little to no emotion whatsoever.
Yeah.
Bloodied and just right in front of him and no emotion. But this is a big step in. He's not turning heel. Never is. That's not the plan, at least for right now or in the foreseeable future. It's just adding more of another dimension to his character, and I like it a lot.
Then we had a no DQ match. It's the New Day versus Penta and the War Raiders. Xavier Woods, this is good for him being back. He just had open head surgery a couple weeks ago, and he's still plugging away, still going along. His recovery time was really good for that, I guess. I figured there would be like a longer recovery time, but what do I know about open head surgery? I've never had it, so he would know. During the break, they did a promo segment where it's the same promo segment they do on the commercial breaks. Talk about how thank God for the New Day, all that type of crap. This match was really good, though. Very good no DQ match. And Penta wins with the Mexican Destroyer to Grayson Waller off the second turnbuckle. This was awesome. I'm okay with this happening because we only see this like once on the show, and it's pretty special when it happens. And Penta and the War Raiders win. I kind of hope this is the end of the New Day feud, and Penta can kind of move on to other things. But yeah, this was awesome. I hope this doesn't mean Big G has to go get open head surgery, but only time will tell on that. I don't think they're going to be very successful in getting the Mexican Destroyer banned. I don't really want it banned. I like that move, so hopefully they can keep it around, but I hope Big G doesn't need open head surgery. What do you think of this?
Oh, poor baby.
Well, you don't want someone getting surgery. That's messed up.
Oh, poor baby. That Avalanche Destroyer was sick, and it won the match. It literally 1, 2, 3. Match was over. Not Avalanche fucking Canadian Destroyer. Nope, done. 1, 2, 3, over. I thought that the match was really good. Penta's looked really strong recently. Love the way he's been booked. It was awesome.
Then Paul Heyman got interviewed. Byron Saxton tried to ask him about the Brock Lesnar situation, but he did not answer it. He kind of pivoted. It's normally good to not answer somebody's question. What do you think of this? This is not good.
Yeah, it's not good at all.
Like, answer the guy's question. He asks you a question, and you completely move on from it. Like, what are you doing? Then Stephanie Vacchio had a promo where she just kind of talked about how happy she was to win the Women's World Title and how it's a dream come true. And we find out that she's going to be on SmackDown this week because there's a triple threat match between Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, and Nia Jax. And the winner of that match will face Stephanie Vacchio for the Crown Jewel Women's Championship. Pretty interested in that, I guess. And this was good stuff by Stephanie. Just good to see her get a nice victory celebration.
Yeah, it was nice.
Then we had Bayley with Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez with Raquel Rodriguez. Earlier in the show, Bayley had asked Lyra to be ringside with her, and this was obviously very weird because the last time they spoke, Bayley was very rude to her. So like Lyra isn't really sure like what's going on with Bayley, and neither with anyone else because obviously it's a very split personality thing. And then here she was acting like the hugger. She came out and hugged Wade Barrett and everything like that. And she was able to use this to get a win. She got on a roll and hit all of her big signature moves. Hit the belly to belly, hit the running knee, hit the rose plant. And everything seemed good. And then all of a sudden, Bayley kind of started twitching and shoved Lyra to the ground and told her to stay out of her business, you idiots. And say that this is my match. You don't be a part of it. And Lyra was very confused. This was awesome. I loved it. I love in Bayley's character, the split personality gimmick. I think it's really working for her. Just Lyra doesn't really know what to make of that. She's very confused. But what did you think of this? I thought this was awesome.
I thought this was great. It really showcased her split personality, his split personality character that she's kind of portraying right now, where it's like at times she's the hugger, and at times she's the heel from 2019, 2020 into 2021, where or in 2020, especially when she was like in the pandemic with Mercedes, kind of back to that like ding dong hello character where she was a heel, and it's really fascinating to see where it goes from here.
Then Cody's backstage. Jimmy comes up to check on him. They kind of have a little talk, and Cody's asking how Jay is, and Jimmy says like, he's starting to kind of go into a dark path, and Cody offers to go talk to him, and Cody sits down to talk to him, wants to make sure Jay's good, and Jay says he's good, but Cody tells him like, you you've been on top, but you just need to make sure that you know who your friends are. And Jay's not really listening. He's kind of eyeing Cody's WWE Championship, and it seems like they're all good, but Jay should have listened because he didn't seem like he really listened to Cody here. And Cody's actually trying to be like a good veteran and give him advice, and Jay's just ignoring him, and that's not very nice, especially because Cody's a very nice superstar and going out of his way to give him advice, and Jay's just completely ignored it. That's not very nice, Jay. You need to like Cody's a friend. He's gone out of your way for you, and you go over here like ignoring him. What'd you think of this?
Yeah, I thought this was really interesting. Again, more character development for Jay. He doesn't seem to be. He just seems to have like a one-track mind right now. He really hates LA Knight. I'll put it that way. He fucking hates him. He just wants to kill him. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what comes of this.
And then we had a match between JD McDonough and Rusev. This was set up because Rusev choked Dom up against a couple of equipment box cases when I think Cody made his entrance in the building, and then Dominic Mysterio went to the Judgment Day clubhouse and asked for something to be done about this, but the Judgment Day aren't interested in helping him because Finn Balor's too busy playing 2K on the Switch 2, which is pretty understandable. And JD wasn't going to help either. He was busy, but Roxanne Perez pushed him to help him because they're the Judgment Day. They always stand by their mates. And doing all that segment, Finn was just playing on the Switch, not even listening to any of this. And Dom was talking shit to him when Finn was right there. It was pretty funny. And then yeah, this was a brutal match. Rusev kind of destroyed JD here. JD got some offense in, but it was not a good day to be JD McDonough. And then Rusev won. And Dom had an opportunity to go in there and help him, but he didn't. And Finn had to go in there and kind of get JD out of there. And they're upset with Dom that he's not helping. Rusev is a monster. Other than that, everything else was fine. Dom needs to start helping his teammates because he's kind of leaving them high and dry. What do you think of this? What do you think of this?
I thought it was great. Dom did the right thing. Not to help out.
You're actually sticking up for Dom for a change.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, if you're Dom, why the fuck would you go in there willingly trying to fight Rusev?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. So he made the smart decision. He waited because Finn came out because that's his trainee. That's his best friend. He's gonna protect him like that was his brother. He was right there to help him to the back. Finn didn't like it though. Finn was very pissed off.
This is a weird day for the Aftershock. You're actually defending Dom for a change. You're not shitting on him or anything like that. You're actually on his side for a change. Something's changed here.
Fascinating.
What if this is all a ruse though? What if he actually is the one guy that's gonna stay heel and he's pulling the wool over your eyes?
Then we're gonna have to have a serious talk.
But right now you're gonna let him pull the wool over your eyes. You're not gonna be suspicious.
No, he's still a piece of shit. It's just he actually did a smart move.
And you're gonna give him credit and call it out when he does a smart move.
It was smart.
All right.
I mean, if this was fucking, Hornswoggle, different story. Go in there and beat the shit out of him. This is fucking Rusev that we're talking about here, the Bulgarian brute. That guy's fucking got muscles and fucking places that I don't even know what places. This is fucking jacked to the gills.
Well, what's he gonna do next week? Because next week he's gonna defend his men's Intercontinental Championship against Rusev. That's gonna be scary for him.
He's gonna have to fucking nut up and face him.
Will it work?
No.
You think he loses next week? The belt?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got his buddy El Grande Americano. One of them. I don't know. The main. I think the main one. That's his that's his actual friend. I don't know about the other two.
Yeah, it's the other two. Who knows?
The Kabuki Warriors are backstage though. I think I missed this earlier, but like Rhea Ripley and Nikki
Rhea
Bella.
Stephanie.
I don't. I think I almost called Nikki Bella Stephanie Vac. No, not Steph. I just. Well, is it? Is it Nikki Bella's real name Stephanie? So that technically isn't a mess
Yeah.
up. So that's technically correct. Huh?
I guess so.
But Rhea Ripley and Nikki Bella like congratulate her on the win. And then the Kabuki Warriors showed up. They're kind of like jaw jacket and like yelling at them. So Rhea challenges Asuka to a match, and they accept. And then here, Io Sky kind of goes up and like begs the match not to like take place, but Asuka says that she has to like teach them a lesson. And we got kind of a reason why the Sky Pirates are so loyal to Asuka, because obviously Asuka kind of set the standard, and her success led to them coming to WWE. So that's why they don't really like want to hurt Asuka or anything like that, and they see Asuka as kind of like a goddess and everything like that. This is all well and fine, and nothing really to complain about here.
Yeah, I thought it was fine enough.
And then LA Knight got interviewed and said that he was gonna beat up Jey Uso, when he called out Jey Uso for blaming him for the loss when Jay is the one that went and concussed himself, which was really funny.
It was.
Then we had Jey Uso versus LA Knight. This was a really good match. It was very short though. It wasn't very long. Even like, because I watched the Netflix one like with the ads, and even then it wasn't very long. But the Vision, the Blondes show up, and LA Knight's fighting them off. But then Jey Uso hits a spear and the splash, and beats LA Knight. Very interesting, considering the fact that like he kind of used the Vision's interference to help them win instead of helping LA Knight. And then Jimmy Uso comes out and wants to go beat up the Vision, and asks for him to help him. But Jay walks away, and Jimmy grabs a chair, and Paul Heyman has to like talk Braun Breaker out of going in there to beat him up. So very interesting stuff right here. Very intriguing. What do you think of this?
I thought it was very intriguing.
And then Seth and Becky are backstage. Becky's upset that not everything seems to be falling apart around them. So Becky said she's gonna fix it, but Seth is kind of looking at the watch and not really thinking anything of it. This was fine, I guess. Nothing really came of this on this show. I thought something was, but I guess something will come out of it next week. So we'll see what happens. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fascinating to see where it comes from. This.
And then Rhea Ripley's backstage, and Io Sky tries to talk Rhea out of pushing through the match, but Rhea refuses and kind of tries to talk to Io Sky out of getting out of Asuka's shadow and everything like that. But then Io says that she doesn't really trust Rhea, and also, so I guess some intriguing stuff there. It feels like kind of Rhea up until this show has been like in a little bit of limbo recently. So, it seems like they're trying to find stuff for her to do.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like that too.
And then Penta and War I would just call him Penta and War Penta. That would be, what is that? Like,
Penta is War Penta.
what is that?
The War Penta.
They're just happy about the victory, and Penta has Intercontinental Championship aspirations, and War Raiders have tag title aspirations, so that's good for them.
I guess they're War Penta.
Yeah. And then we had a video package on the Los Americanos. We find out that they've been they used to be big deal in Mexico, but then they went dormant for a while because Mexico's been trying to keep them dormant. So now that they're in WWE, you're gonna see like Los Americanos like really shine through and really break out and everything like that. This is good, good to see that the Los Americano name is going to be rectified. I don't know why Mexico kept trying to hide them, but this is good stuff. What do you think of this?
I thought it was interesting. It's more intriguing.
And then Maxine Dupree and Adam Pearce are backstage. Maxine Dupree wants an opportunity because she's been working really hard at the dungeon. So Adam Pearce says that you just keep doing what you're doing, and I'll find an opportunity for you. And when one opens up, you take care of the rest. And then AJ Styles and Dragon Lee come up, and they want a match between two members of El Grande Americanos. And Adam Pearce says he'll make it happen. And AJ Styles says tells Adam Pearce not to sign any more Americanos. What'd you think of this? I hope he takes AJ Styles' advice.
I hope he does too.
I imagine AJ and Dragon Lee will win now since AJ's facing Cena at Crown Jewel. They're gonna give them the win, unless they have Dragon Lee take the pin, because it wouldn't really make sense to have the Los Americanos lose their first match together. But if AJ's facing Cena, I think you need to give AJ some momentum, because AJ doesn't. I mean, you could always do AJ and Cena, and it's always going to rule, but I feel like AJ needs to get some credibility to face Cena. What do you think about that take? Or do you think they're just going to have the Americanos win by pinning Dragon Lee?
They could do that.
And then we had the main event. It was Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley won. They kept teasing that Kyrie was going to interfere, and when she finally went to interfere, it backfired massively, and Rhea saw it coming, and then Rhea rolled up Asuka for the win, and then she spit the blue mist into Rhea Ripley's face. They beat down Rhea Ripley. Io Sky ran out and begged them to stop, and then Asuka beat up Io Sky, and Kairi Sane does this, but she doesn't really seem in favor of this. She's kind of just doing this because Asuka wants her to do this, and they lay out Io Sky afterwards, and the Kabuki Warriors stand tall. This was pretty decent. I like this little story they got going on here. I'm glad that Raw ended differently finally. We've had Raw for the past month or so start with a Vision promo and then end with a Vision beatdown or a save. I'm glad that Raw finally ended differently and we got a big turn out of it, because this has been something they've been setting up for the past few weeks. I feel like they could have done this turn a little bit better, because it didn't really seem like they really built up to it. It's been kind of in the background on Raw. And, but I think we'll get some nice sick tag matches with Rhea and Io versus the Kabuki Warriors. I hope they can factor in the tag titles somehow, where maybe the Kabuki Warriors can beat We're Not Friends for the tag belts, and then this can add some prestige to the tag belts, and Rhea and Io can win the tag belts, which I think would be pretty cool. And maybe you can use this to set up some dissension between Rhea and Io, since Rhea's never been Io, and you can use it to maybe not turn one of them heel, but naturally get back to that match somehow. But what would you think of all this?
I thought it sucked. It fell really flat. The crowd didn't give a shit. Yeah, I mean, the turn itself was fine. It's just the whole thing died once, Io didn't get any offense in. I felt like if they let Io get a little bit of offense in, just a tiny bit, give her a hope spot, kind of maybe throw a few forearms here and there, and then beat the crap out of her, then hit the insane elbow, and then end it, and then fade to black with her laying near Rhea. It just fell so flat, and the crowd did not remotely even care.
But that was Raw. I thought Raw was pretty solid. I'll give it probably a B-, not like a B or anything, but it was a pretty good follow-up show towards WrestlePalooza. What'd you think of Raw?
Yeah, I thought this follow-up to WrestlePalooza, Raw, was significantly better than WrestlePalooza itself. ESPN gave it a B grade, which it's a whole letter grade up from where it was. What they thought WrestlePalooza was, so that's a step in the right direction.
Do you give it the same grade?
Yeah, give it a B. I thought it was a really good show.
And now we had NXT Homecoming. I know we're a week late covering that, but I feel it was such a fun show. I feel like we should cover it. Do you want to do the highlights and cover WrestlePalooza. No, NXT Homecoming.
Yeah. I'll cover WrestlePalooza again. So NXT Homecoming happened, and I was kind of disappointed because one, that was not at all the Full Sail set. I felt like it just didn't feel like Full Sail.
Yeah,
It
I
just felt
agree.
like the Performance Center. Because when I saw it, because I was at the Red Sox game, so I didn't get a chance to watch it live. I saw that and I was like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Why isn't it the regular Full Sail set? That's bizarre." It's that Triple H came up first. Triple H and Shawn did their back and forth to start the show about how Triple H, loved NXT and he loved running NXT, and he like brought up the idea of potentially running NXT again. That didn't end up that, and then Shawn came out and it was great. I thought that was great, and then William Regal came out and said "War Games" to them. That hasn't been said in such a long ass time.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And Charlotte and Alexa were there, which was awesome because they were a part of that first wave of NXT becoming super popular. They all and Charlotte came out to her old theme song, which is significantly better. Which in her old like blue T-shirt too that she used to wear.
Yeah.
But I thought that was like, I don't know why I rather prefer them use those theme songs, but it's weird how they used them then, but they can't use them on the main roster. That was weird.
It's very weird. The one thing I really like the cold open they showed of like all the NXT moments like in Full Sail, which was really cool. Like,
which is a lot. There's so many of them.
I didn't realize too how long they were in because I knew they were in Full Sail like obviously in the beginning, but I didn't because I forgot they did some like shows in the pandemic like still in Full Sail, so you saw like a lot of those moments in like Full Sail.
Yeah, they moved out of Full Sail like halfway through the 2020 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they moved to the Performance Center after the Gargano Ciampa match full time. I think it was right because their third match was during the pandemic.
Yeah, I think from what I remember, I think it was like October, because Priest said he won the North American title, in Full Sail, and that was like August. So I think October, September, like the fall, they were out of 2020. They were out of Full Sail full time.
Yeah. Then they moved to the Performance Center, and this is the first time back since fall of 2020. That's insane.
Yeah, and this is really the first time since like winter of 2022 with a crowd, because obviously they haven't had a crowd in Full Sail in a while. This is cool too, because TNA was just there like not that long, like earlier this year they were there, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's getting some use wrestling wise at least.
So I kind of I would like to go. I would like him to go back to Full Sail full time. That would be awesome because I'm
and actually use the real Full Sail set.
Yeah.
And the first match of the evening, it was Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Yeah, this one's fairly apropos or academic, whatever the hell that saying is. Predictable. Charlotte and Alexa won. They weren't going to lose the fucking tag titles to Izzy and Tatum. That wasn't going to happen. They did, although Charlotte and Alexa have a really awesome tag finisher now.
Yeah, I like that.
I liked it. Match was okay. I thought it was still a good enough match. They all really worked well together. Even with the obvious finish of Charlotte and Alexa winning. I felt like Izzy and Tatum put up a really good fight.
Mm-hmm.
And Shayna Baszler made an appearance too, which was very interesting because she had just been released from WWE, and it looks like she might be. I know she just announced today, as announced today. I think it was Prestige Wrestling announced that she was the replacement for Masha Slamovich, who's going through some shit right now. None of it good on her part. But so Shayna made an appearance here, and it looks like she's gonna, in the near future, next few weeks, it looks like she's gonna come back and be in a backstage role.
Which we talked about before. If that's that's the best usage of her in wrestling. Not in a negative
It
way
really
either.
is.
Not in a negative way either. Like she's still really good and stuff, and she can come back on occasion. But I think having
And
someone
she's still, I mean, she's still good in the ring, and that's never been, even like getting up there into her mid-40s now, she's still really good.
yeah, but
It's just the best usage for her right now is her brain.
yeah,
Pick her brain. She's so, for someone who like picked it up super late in her life, like, and didn't do it regularly, or she was into MMA, and she picked up wrestling very late into her 30s, and she's been a tremendous asset for WWE, especially to NXT, like backstage, like as like doing a producer stuff and matchmaking, and just like being there as like an option for them to pick to pick her brain, and to to help out the newer generation of NXT women that are coming through, because a lot of them, like Shayna, weren't wrestlers, so she kind of like is on that level with them to where she can kind of teach them the business.
yeah, absolutely.
And that's like not a knock on her in the ring. She's fantastic in the ring, and she can still go. She's obviously she's still making appearances outside of the company and whatnot, but her best asset right now is her mind and her ability to put, to, like I said, produce and match make, and help these younger women in to make them professional wrestlers, so sports entertainers, whatever you want to call it. And now we have the returning DIY in the versus the reunited Trick and Mellow Gang.
Yeah, it was awesome.
This match was fucking fantastic. I was, again, a little nostalgia for us NXT watchers of that era. The old school Johnny Gargano theme and the old school Tommaso Ciampa theme.
Mm-hmm.
They both used it because they came out to the DIY theme 2 weeks prior to that. I was surprised they didn't come out together, but I get why they didn't do that, because they separately wanted to have their themes. They separately had their theme songs played because it was the old versions of them. I'm not even gonna begin to tell you about this match. Just go and watch it.
It was awesome.
The Miz ended up helping Trick and Mellow Gang steal the victory. But this match was absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend going back and watching, or just watching this match. Just a terrific match. And the Tommaso and DIY are the faces here.
Yeah, I hope that sticks, because they're good heels, but I want to see them. I want to see a face. I mean, I guess we have seen a face run for them on the main roster. So, but I'm into them being faces again if they want to go back down that path.
It feels like they're going in that direction.
Yeah. So hopefully that's the case.
Now we have the North American Championship match. It's Ethan Page versus Tyler Breeze for the title. Coming off of the heels of Worlds Collide in his loss there, he gets an important victory. Ethan Page does. Tyler Breeze put up a great fight. but to no avail. Tyler still looks fantastic in the ring. And again, just instant chemistry between them. They both look great. Tyler can still go, but I really enjoyed this match, and Ethan Page winning made all the sense in the world. Tyler wanted what it would have made sense too, because they're in Full Sail. He started his career there. He was the longest out of the 2013, 2012, 10 FCW crew that transitioned into NXT. He was there the longest. So it would have made sense for him to win it in Full Sail, but also to putting over Ethan Page was the smart move. I loved it.
Yeah. Oh, you missed the Sami Zayn appearance on the show. That was cool too.
Yes, yeah. Sami Zayn came, had a backstage segment too, along with Bobby Roode.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice too. He was in that second wave of, known stars to come through NXT during its prime years. After Sammy and Kevin and Neville and all those guys left. It was awesome. And Dr. Wagner Jr. too was in the crowd. I got fooled this past week thinking it was him. It was actually Tavion Heights. That was really funny. And that's eventually, I think that's going to set up a match between Hijo did Dr. Wagner Jr. and Ethan Page. I hope that happens, because I think that match would absolutely fucking rule.
For one belt,
yeah.
for title, or just for one belt?
Title for title. I think that makes the most sense. And then we have the Grayson Waller effect, which I've been hyped up for the past week or a couple of weeks. He basically just craps on Ricky Saints and says that he's been very underwhelming, which is not true, because Grayson Waller is very, very underwhelming. Fucking asshole, piece of shit.
Hey, this was before he took all those destroyers and had. Again, this guy might be having open head surgery right now, so you might want to give him a little bit of.
He might not have a brain in his head anymore, because it might have been fucking dislodged through his ears after he took the destroyer.
Poor guy.
But yeah, overall, I thought that this the Grayson Waller effect was fine. And we had a segment with Damian Priest and Tavion Heights hyping. Priest made his return, hyping up Tavion Heights, with which Tavion Heights has been super, super impressive. I always knew that Tavion was good, but I didn't realize how fucking good he actually is.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's on the rise right now, and I think if Hijo doesn't beat him for the North American Championship, I think it's going to be Tavion.
Me too.
And I forgot to mention too, in that Bobby Roode segment, I forgot Joe Hendry was involved too. Yeah. So that was I love that. Those were all great. Those are all great. Seeing a lot of the older faces too, like Damian Priest was a part of that later stages after Bobby Roode, where before the pandemic, where he was kind of shuffled between face and heel at the time. Well, but Priest was awesome down in NXT. And now we have the main event. It's Fatal Influence.
Don't forget the Finn Balor. Don't forget the Finn Balor appearance.
Oh, yep. I'm not going to forget about it. Believe me.
You almost did.
I wasn't. I knew that happened. I was watching it. But so Lexus King is in the ring, talking shit, and Finn Balor makes his return with his fucking theme song that he should be using. Great. He comes out and distracts Lexus King and Miles Bourne, hits him with a fucking version of the zigzag. I don't know what they call it, but it looks like it's a zigzag. And then Finn Balor hits him with the coup de grace. And that was it. He opened up his side vest and it had Homecoming Prince. It was interesting. I liked the segment a lot, and it really portrayed Finn as a face, which was fucking weird because he's a heel. I thought that was very odd.
I want to do. I
But
want to. Now that makes me want face Finn Balor to come back. He's awesome.
that was so bizarre. Just a really like he celebrated with Miles Bourne. I'm like, wait, Finn's a fucking face. Like, what? Finn's a heel. What are they doing here?
And then he was a heel last night. Like,
He just went right back to being heel on Raw the following week. I was like, well, that's bizarre. But now we have the main event. It's Fatal Influence with JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and name redacted because she is not renewing her contract, and Jasmine Nix. And this is her last match in WWE. Go figure. Against the fucking dream team of Rhea Ripley, Lyra Valkyria, and Stephanie Vaquer. And this match was fantastic. They were there just solely to get the crap kicked out of them by Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vaquer, and Lyra Valkyria. And they did, and the dream team ended up winning, which made the most sense because Lola Vice came down to help them, and she did because on this upcoming week of NXT, it was announced that Lola Vice would be challenging JC Jane for her NXT Women's Championship at No Mercy. So it made sense for her to kind of get involved because that kind of fast forwarded that to the segment that they had on NXT this past week. And Rhea got the win with the Riptide. I thought this match was really, really good. Of course, when you have three of the better NXT superstars from their era, and Rhea Ripley is one of the best NXT superstars of all time. Lyra was awesome in NXT, and Stephanie Vaquer, for the short time that she was there, was very dominant and awesome. Versus the current crop of in Fatal Influence, minus Jasmine Nix, who's not renewing her contract. Like I said, she's just going to let it expire. She rejected a contract extension, so she's gone in however long it is, a couple of months, probably. A few weeks, I would think, but a few weeks to a couple of months. I thought overall this show was great. It was a really an homage to the past of NXT, while a lot of the present got their time to shine. The past also too did kind of get their time in the spotlight. I thought overall the show was fantastic.
yeah, the show was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was a hell of a show. Really great nostalgia for NXT, and I loved it. But this then another thing happened in NXT this week. I want to make sure we mention. During that Grayson Waller segment, we found out that Oba Femi and Trick William were going to have a winner-take-all match for both the TNA and NXT championships. And throughout the night, a lot of X-Posts and stuff started coming in with TNA wrestlers being pissed that they weren't invited to Homecoming and that WWE made this match without their knowledge and everything like that. So we knew we were going to get something big. It ended up being pretty funny because, like you said, some people took these posts very seriously and actually thought TNA wrestlers were pissed, which was hilarious and really funny. Throughout the night on this week's episode of NXT, that's exactly what happened. We had a lot of TNA wrestlers showed up. And it's like wrestlers, it wasn't just the typical wrestlers that they've been using. There was wrestlers that haven't even been in, that you wouldn't even think would be in WWE. Like, Mance Warner was a cool one, because obviously he's not a WWE wrestler. He's a very much deathmatch wrestler, and he was there. Steph DeLando came back. Frankie Kazarian was there. Eric Young, who left WWE a few years ago because he didn't want to work with Vince, and now he was back. You know, we had Heather by Elegance was there. The biggest one that got the hugest pop of the night, Matt Cardona, first time on WWE television since he was released during the pandemic. It was it absolutely wooed. Everyone went nuts when he showed up. Moose was there, and obviously Mike Santana was like the guy leading the charge, doing all of this because he's been the one that's been the flag bearer of TNA, and the match was going along nicely, and then eventually Mike Santana got attacked by Trick Williams, so he attacked him. A big brawl happened, and then eventually it just led to a big brawl where TNA wrestlers like stood tall and everything like that. This was really cool. This is another big thing that everyone was wanting from the partnership was like some type of invasion angle with TNA invading WWE. I'm glad that happened. And the TNA are the faces for it, by the way, for Invaded too. They're not the heels, because obviously WWE has been taking TNA hostage the past few weeks and the past few months. And this was a good culmination to that. I don't know what this leads to. I imagine we're going to get something about this at No Mercy. But yeah, what did you think of this invasion? I thought it ruled. And seeing all the names that showed up that hadn't been in WWE for years was awesome. What did you think of this?
I thought this was great. This is the beginning of a lot of interesting shit going on. Because I was just on Twitter just recently, and apparently NXT, TNA doesn't have locations picked for November. Which a lot of people are speculating now that means this is going to carry on beyond Bound for Glory. A certain match in November, maybe?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
War Games.
Yeah, they could do that on NXT. I would like that. Or Lethal Lockdown on the TNA side of things.
I mean, you could get, because they're going to do War Games on the main roster. So you could just call it Lethal Lockdown.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And yeah, you could get a lot of really cool. It'd be interesting to see what side Joe Hendry takes, because he's kind of in between, you know, because he's been showing up in NXT a lot, but he also is still with TNA. So that'd be interesting to see what side he takes, type of thing.
It's going to be very interesting.
But yeah, everyone loved this, and that absolutely so. I wonder what we'll get from this. And it's everything I think we wanted from when AEW partnered up with them that we didn't get. So I'm glad we're getting it in the WWE side of things. And, just shows how loaded their roster is. We had a lot of names. I mean, Inspiration was there. It's been years since they've been in NXT. What do you think of the Matt? I know you like the Matt Cardona appearance. What do you think of that one?
That shocked the fuck out of me. I did not expect to see him. It's going to be super interesting to see him by proxy on a WWE brand. That's actually fucking awesome. And
the crowd was into it. They were very split on which company they wanted. They were doing TNA and NXT, which was cool. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens from this. What if nothing comes from it? It just leads to Shawn Michaels just ending the partnership because he hates the storylines. Like, yeah, this partnership's over now. It's done. Like,
yeah,
he just gets angry. Don't forget that partnerships are technically tag teams, so he might not like this partnership anymore because that's a tag team. So, but yeah, we're gonna do our No Mercy predictions. Well, real quick, since the last night was the go home episode, we got a lot of matches announced for it. Is this going to be a title match or a non-title match, Chris? It's up to you.
I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
This will be a championship match, so I will make my predictions first. So it will be me versus you. Steve's lost the right because he didn't predict very well this past week. And,
ooh.
I mean, that's what happens when you predict a no contest over a winner type of thing. So.
Ooh, Steven, you're in trouble.
He's in big trouble.
Ooh.
But let's just talk about. We have 6 matches for the show. Every match is a singles match, which is good. But yeah, let's just talk about this. First match announced is Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs. They've been beefing the last few weeks with Josh Briggs laying out Javon Evans. He beat him a few weeks ago. As for I think wins, I think Javon Evans gets the win this time. I think he really needs a win, and I'd rather have him win than Josh Briggs. Josh Briggs is just very bland, and Javon Evans has a lot more upside. So who do you think wins?
Javon Evans. 100%.
I think this continues though. They'll have some type of like false count anywhere match since they'll both have a win after this. Maybe something at Halloween Havoc or something. Then we have a weaponized steel cage match. Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe. This feud's continued past Heat Wave, and we've seen a sinister side to Blake Monroe. Now they're having a weaponized steel cage match. I think Jordan Grace wins. She really needs a win. She hasn't won a PLE in a while. She's lost at Battleground. She lost at Evolution, and then she lost at Heat Wave. I think she really needs to get a big victory and put an end to this feud. Who do you think wins?
Jordan Grace. I feel like she needs a big win also, too.
And then we have the NXT North American Championship match. It's Ethan Page defending against Tavion Heights. Obviously, this could go either way. They could shock us and give Tavion Heights a huge victory, or they could just have Ethan Page retain. I think Ethan Page retains. I think because Tavion Heights got the advantage over him on the Go Home show, and they really want to build up this match between Ethan Page and Dr. Wagner Jr. I think Ethan Page retains, but Tavion Heights will look very strong in defeat.
I think Tavion will look very strong too, but I also think too that it's a bit too early, especially with this gimmick, to take the belt off of Ethan. So I'm going to pick Ethan.
Then we have a women's speed championship match. It's going to be 5 minutes. Sol Ruka defending against Lainey Reed. Lainey Reed won a tournament to get this opportunity. I think Sol Ruka retains. They could swerve us and have Lady Reed finally join Fatal Influence and they help her win, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Sol Ruka retains. I think we need to start getting going with this Zarya heel turn. It seems like they're starting to finally do something with it now, but I feel like we need to get that going pretty soon. But I think Sol Ruka retains the Speed Women's Championship. What do you think?
I think Sol retains too. And it's just like, I think if anything, it probably should be Zarya that beats her for either the Speed Championship or the North American Championship. But I'm thinking the Women's North American Championship more so. But I just don't think it. I mean, Lainey Reed winning and joining Fatal Influence, it makes sense. Because there are rumors right now with Jasmine Nix being gone that she's the replacement. So that could be happening on Saturday, but I maybe not. I mean, Zarya could cost her the Speed Championship by accident. So who knows? But I'm picking Sol.
Then we have the NXT Women's Championship match. It's JC Jane defending against Lola Vice. Probably going to get this wrong, but I'm picking Lola Vice to win. I'm probably going to get that wrong, but I'm not picking JC Jane.
I'm going to pick JC Jane. Just to be different. I hope Lola wins, but I'm going JC.
Then we have the main event, not the show, so you don't have to be scared. It's the NXT Championship match. It's Oba Femi defending against Ricky Saints. This could go either way, but I am going to pick Oba Femi retains. I feel like I don't think he's getting called up anytime soon, and if he's not, keep the belt on him. And I feel like Ricky Saints, doesn't necessarily need to win as much, I guess, but this really could go either way, but I'm picking Oba Femi retains. I don't think it's time to take the belt off him, and I don't think they built it. I don't think they built this match up enough where I feel like Oba Femi's going to lose either.
Yeah, I feel like Ricky Starks has been built up a good amount, but I just don't feel like it's necessary for Oba to lose the title yet. So I'm going to pick Oba.
So yeah, you have to root for JC Jane this weekend to get the belt.
Yeah, I know. Pretty
JCJ.
pathetic, but
So, um,
fucking sad. I know.
going over Evolve, reviewing that show real quick. Where's my Evolve notes?
It sucked. Way to go.
We had the commentary team of Peter Rosenberg and Robert Stone. The Varsity Blonde, no, the Varsity Project, not the Varsity Blondes. That's not a thing anymore. They cut a promo talking about how happy they are to take over Evolve, and then the champion reveals that he got all the other guys a match. It's like an 8-person mixed tag, and they face Dante Chin, Sean Legacy, Tyler May Steele, and Draco Anthony, I think his name is. It's like the most random babyface like thrown together tag team I think I've ever seen in my life. And you would think, Chris, right, the real team would win, but no, the babyfaces won, which was hilarious. And you would think like Sean Legacy or Tyler May Steele would get the pinfall, but Dante Chin was the one that got the win. It was absolutely hilarious, and I love him. Dante Chin is. I don't think that dude is ever leaving any C show. I think he's stuck on the C shows for like the rest of his life.
Forever.
And then backstage, like the Varsity Blonde. No, not the Varsity Blondes. The Varsity Project get like upset with like one of like the main heavy of the group that he lost the match, and they're clearly setting up a split between like them and that guy. So that's pretty interesting, I guess. And then we had Kendall Gray and we had Marcus Mathers and I almost said Mickey Rourke, but it's who the hell is that? Mickey Rourke? Is that even anybody? Like
he's an actor.
Oh, okay.
He was the guy who faced Chris Jericho at WrestleMania.
Oh, that's right. But it's not Mickey Rourke. It's Aaron Rourke. But that's awesome. I said Mickey Rourke. I think that's great. But they got interviewed about their upcoming match, and then Kendall Gray and Carly Bright were backstage. Kendall Gray's getting ready for a I Quit match with Rennie Chu, and they're obviously wondering how she can win that match because Rennie Chu doesn't talk. So like, is she even gonna like quit? Even though we've heard Rennie Chu talk before, but whatever. And then Tate Wilder's backstage. Sean Legacy comes up and motivates his spirits because he's been feeling down because Tate Wilder hasn't really been winning any matches. And then Marcus Mathers and Aaron Rourke faced Jamal Hampton and Itzgall. Apparently in my notes, it was just Jamal Hampton. I forgot to write Itzgall's name, so it was a handicap match.
It was, yeah.
But Jamal Hampton and Itzgall won, and it was a good match, but I don't like Itzgall, so I was mad they won. And then Callie Armstrong got interviewed, says that she looks forward to facing more opponents for Evolve Women's title. And then we had Kendall Gray versus Rennie Chu in a I Quit match. Kendall Gray won and made Rennie Chu quit with the armbar. And then afterwards, she had a face-off with Callie Armstrong. So it looks like that's going to be the next Evolve Women's title match. I wonder if they'll just put the belt on Kendall Gray, because I think the original plan was supposed to be that Kylie Ray would be the one to dethrone Callie Armstrong. But Kylie Ray's pregnant now, so they have to pivot to somebody else. But Evolve was okay. I'll give it like a B. It's a solid show. But yeah, we have some news though about someone that got released recently that we haven't talked about yet, and I figure I'll let you talk about this.
Andrade got released again from WWE for a second time. Lots of shit. Suspended for a wellnessy policy violation for 30 days. Just like always feuded with the creative team. Probably a mistake to bring him back. But, whatever. He's gone. They fucked over Ray Phoenix, that's for certain.
Yeah,
they don't know what the fuck to do with him now.
Because they were like doing really well as a team and everything like that.
I keep seeing too that like maybe it's time for the Lucha Bros to reunite.
I think it is. And feud with maybe get the belts off Judgment Day, the World Tag Team titles type of thing, because they're not doing anything with them. So, but yeah, Andrade's second WWE one was just really weird. we thought, because it was one of Triple H's guy, he wanted to come back to WWE, and he never really got anything going. He came back at the Rumble. He had he had the match at WrestleMania 40 with Ray, and then where he faced Dom and Santos Escobar. And then after that, not really much happened. He would always be in the Money in the Bank matches, but never win. And then he would always he had that Best of 7 series with Carmelo Hayes, which was awesome. And then, yeah, just really nothing this year. He had that really awesome tag team with Ray Phoenix, but then, now that's fizzled out. There was offers for him to be a part of the AAA partnership, but he refused every time, which I don't get why he did. It was really dumb for him to do that, but he did. And yeah, I guess they shouldn't have brought him back. I don't know what he does. Obviously there's on the other side of things, AEW wrestlers are posting a lot of pics. MJF and him had a shoot back and forth, and then Roosh posted a picture with them saying that he could come back and reform Life Faction and go Renales and all that stuff. I feel like he has no interest in going back to AEW. I don't know what he does. I feel like maybe he goes to TNA and does some things there. But I have no clue what the hell Andrade does. I feel like he's just gonna be. He might just do local shows. I feel like he's gonna fizzle out because none of his big wrestling runs have really worked out as of late. What do you think Andrade does now that he's gone, type of thing? Do you think he just fizzles out?
I think he'll find a role somewhere. I mean, they didn't truly write him off of AEW TV. He could go back there, but I don't know. I don't even know where the fuck he goes. CMLL maybe, because I know there's a match with him and Max in the future. So
yeah, so
they've been hyping that up on social media.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We have anything else you want to talk about before we get off here, or do you want to just sit here in silence, or do you want to just get off?
Sit here in silence. I think is a great idea.
But let's just end this off. You want to? Is there anything you want to plug or promote before we get off of here?
No, I don't have anything.
Check out. It'll probably be up by the time I upload this. The first episode of Yellow Jackets Season 3 review, the comparison video of Yellow Jackets and OVB. We'll be doing episode 2, and then depending on what happens, if I can get my Paramount Plus situated, we'll either do episode 3, and if not, we'll have to go on and do some other things. Like I said, we called off the retros this year because it also wasn't working, so I was December 15th week, after John Cena's last match, Chris and I are going to do a career retrospective on John Cena's career and talk about how we feel like his career has been overall. Chris hates it. He hates his career. He thinks he's had an absolute joke of a career, so he wants to make sure he gets on there and talk about it. So, Hey, that's just what you told me off camera.
Hey.
Well, I guess you didn't tell me that, but you said it without saying it, type of thing. So,
Hey.
And then a fun video we're gonna make. Chris and I, we're gonna do a fantasy booking series on what WWE would have looked like this year if The Rock had been available for the Bloodline storyline like originally planned. And I showed Chris that off camera. He seemed to like it, but he might just he might go off camera and when he gets off, he'll be like, "Wow, that was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life," type of thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
But yeah.
Who let this guy fucking book? Jesus Christ, this sucks.
The worst booking you probably ever seen in your life, right?
Fucking terrible.
Worse than Vince Russo?
Oh, even worse.
Oh my gosh, that's not good. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. And since we're talking to you guys in the past, we would talk to you guys in the future. And I think I messed that up, but it's somewhere in there.